Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Aftab Alam and I will teach you physics. You studied science in the previous classes and here we will study physics. Today our topic is physical quantities and measurement. It's unit number 1. But before going into detail of this chapter, I will give you little bit information about science. That what is science? Science is the knowledge that we get after an experimentation. When you do experiment, you get information, you get knowledge. These informations and knowledge is called science. Science is the explorative study of the universe. When you explore universe, you study science. It is derived from a Latin word scientia, which means knowledge, which means I know. Now, natural philosophy. Various study of various aspects of material object under a single subject is called natural philosophy. Natural philosophy or philosophy of nature was the philosophical study of nature and the physical universe that was dominated before the development of modern science. It is considered to be the precursor of natural science. Natural philosophy is divided into two types: physical science, biological science. In physical science, we study non-living things. For example, in physical study, you study earth crust. Changes take place inside the earth, outside the earth. In physical science, you study matter, energy, and the interaction between these two. In physical science, you study atmosphere, weather forecasting, etc. Biological sciences, also called life sciences, study of non-living, of living things, study of living things. In biological study, study of living things, we study human beings, animals, plants. So the study of plants, animals, human beings, these are living things. So these are these are called biological studies, biological sciences. These are studied in biological sciences. Physical science is further divided into 5 branches: physics, chemistry, astronomy, geology, and meteorology. Geology is an earth science concerned with the solid earth, the rock of which it is composed, and the process by which they change over time. Geology can also include the study of solid features of any terrestrial planet or natural satellites such as Mars or the Moon. Meteorology is the scientific study of the atmosphere that focus on weather process and forecasting. Meteorological phenomena are observable weather events which illuminate and are explained by the science of meteorology. Those events are bound by the variable that exist in Earth atmosphere. Astronomy is the study of nature on the grand scale. On the grand scale. Chemistry you will study as a subject and physics you will study also as a subject. So here we will study physics. Is the scientific study of matter and energy and how they interact with each other. In physics, you study matter, energy, and the interaction between these two. What is matter? What is energy? What is the relation between these two? These these questions must be answered in physics and many more. Matter. Anything occupying space and having mass is called matter. Anything occupying space and having mass is called matter. Means having volume. Occupying space, having volume. Solid, liquid, gases. These are matter. For example, if you take a solid object, you will feel it heavy or lighter. So it means it have mass. For example, your mass, let's say it's 50 kg. So someone have 50 kg, someone other have 60 kg, 70 kg, different masses, means having mass. He will occupy space in air also, means volume. In gas cylinder, if you take the example of gas, if you take the example of liquid or solid, every object will occupy space and having mass. Gas cylinder, when it is heavier, when it is filled from gas, and it is lighter when it is empty. And energy is the ability of a body to do work. Now, importance of physics. In our daily life, we hardly find a device in which laws of physics are not involved. If you look at your surrounding, you will find that every object, in every phenomena, laws of physics will be applied. For example, pulley are used to lift heavy loads. It represents the importance of physics. It is the blessing of physics because with the help of pulley, you can lift considerably heavy loads. So for lifting heavy loads, we use pulley or a system of pulley is used. So it represents the importance of physics. It is the blessing of physics. Transportation also represents the blessing of physics. Means of transportation such as cars and aeroplanes are the blessing of physics. These represents the importance of physics. Electricity is used to get light, heat, and mechanical energy that drives fans and electric motors. If you remove electricity from your life, life will become miserable. Hardly there will be any industry to work. Many, many industries will stop working. Even you cannot sleep properly. So electricity is the blessing of physics. It represents the importance of physics in daily life. If you look to domestic appliances such as air conditioners, refrigerators, vacuum cleaners, washing machines, and micro ovens, etc. These are the blessing of physics. These represents the importance of physics. If you remove any device, if you remove washing machine, or you remove vacuum cleaner, or you remove micro oven, you will feel its importance. These are the blessing of physics. The means of communication such as radio, televisions, telecom, mobile phones, and computer are the result of application of physics. These represents the importance of physics. These are the blessing of physics. I think telecommunications bitterly make you understand that how important physics is in our life. Now, before going into detail branches of physics, I will I will give you some sentences, or I will say something about the nature of physics. Physics is an experimental science in which physics seeks patterns that relate the phenomena of nature. The patterns are called physical theories. A very well-established or widely used theory is called a physical law or principle. Branches of physics. First branch is mechanics. The, the second one or the other one is heat, sound, light, optics, electricity and magnetism, atomic physics, nuclear physics, plasma physics, geophysics. Now first, mechanics. Study of motion of objects, it causes and effects. When you study the motion of objects, whether it is in rest or it is in motion, and effects is called mechanics. Mechanics is further divided into two branches, kinematics and statistic. Means static mechanics and kinematic. The study of motion of objects without going into detail of its causes is called static mechanics. And when you go into detail of its causes, it is called kinematics. You will study in the next coming chapters. So study of motion of objects, it causes the force, because force produces motion, and effects is the increase in speed, velocity, or in the acceleration. Now next branch is heat. Deals with nature of heat, modes of transfer, and effects of heat. Heat change, nature of heat. It it was supposed first. It was considered that heat is a type of matter, but further experimentation it proves that heat is not matter, because it is invisible, weightless, and can flow from one body into another body. Modes of transfer is the process in which heat is transferred from one place to another place. Modes of transfer means conduction, convection, radiation. These are the process in which transfer of heat take place. Conduction take place in solids, convection take place in liquids, gases, and radiation. Transfer of heat. Radiation means transfer of heat without the need of material, without the need of any material medium. And effects of heat. For example, change in temperature, increase in temperature, decrease in temperature. If heat flow, temperature will increase. If heat flow from a body, the temperature decreases. Sound. Sound is the perception of hearing. Deals with the physical aspect of sound waves, their production, properties, and application. How sound is produced, how it propagates, what are the properties of sound, what are the practical application of sound. We study these phenomena. Audible range of sound is from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. means some sounds are not audible to us. Light, optics. Light is the perception of vision, which produces the perception of vision is called light. Study of physical aspect of light, its properties, working and use of optical instrument. How you can use optical instrument, how you will use optical instruments to calculate the wavelength of light, frequency of light, how you can define light, what are the properties of light. These, the study of these things is called lights, physics of light. Electricity and magnetism. Study of the charges at rest and in motion, their effects and their relationship with magnetism. In electricity, we study charges, flow of current, flow of electron, flow of positive charges, flow of negative charges. It's called electricity. Or anything which produce four effects, light, heat, sound, and motion is called electricity. So anything which produce light, heat, and sound is called electricity. And magnetism is the effect produced due to the flow of current. Magnetism is the property of a material of attracting or when it exerts a force of repulsion. So in this we study electricity and magnetism, magnetic effect of magnet or any other object which have the property of attraction or repulsion and the interaction between these two. So in electricity and magnetism, we study charges at rest and in motion, their effects and the relationship between these two. For example, when electric current flows, it will produce magnetic effects. And magnet can produce electricity. Faraday was the first scientist who established this relation. Faraday relate electricity with the magnetism. For example, when there is flow of electric current, it will produce magnetic effect. And when there is change in magnetic flux, it will produce electric current. So electricity and magnetism are interlinked, are related with each other. So electricity can produce magnetism, and magnetism can produce electric current. So the study of electricity, magnetism, and the interaction between these two is called electricity and magnetism. That branch of physics was given the name of electricity and magnetism. Atomic physics. Simply, you can say that you can define these branches of physics in your own words. It's not important that you limit yourself to our definitions or to the definition of books. You can explain it in any way, but in a right way. Atomic physics. To me, if someone asks, what is atomic physics? Simply I will answer, that branch of physics in which we study the properties of atom, the structure of atom is called atomic physics. So it is a right definition. Study of structure and properties of atom is called atomic physics. You know that atom is made up of smaller particles, electrons, which revolve around the nucleus. The nucleus, which consists of proton and neutron, carry positive charge. So that branch of physics in which we study structure of atom and properties of atom is called atomic physics. Nuclear physics deals with the properties and behavior of nuclei and the particles within the nuclei. So electrons are not involved. You purely study nucleus. You study what is inside the nucleus. You study properties of nucleus. You study structure of nucleus. So that branch of physics in which we study properties and behavior of nuclei and the particles within the nuclei is called nuclear physics. Plasma physics. Plasma, the fourth state of matter. First, solid, second, liquid, third, gas. The fourth state of matter is called plasma. When matter in gaseous form is heated at a very high temperature, when matter in gaseous form is heated at a very high temperature, then such that it loses almost all of its electron, then such state of matter is called plasma. Sun exists in plasma state. Sun is not in solid form, neither it is in liquid form, neither it is in gaseous form, it is in plasma state. The study of production properties of the ionic state of matter is called plasma physics. So in plasma physics, we study production properties of the ionic state of matter. Ionic state of matter means when an atom loses its electron. So when an atom loses its electron, it is this state of matter is called plasma. You can get another definition from this also, that the ionic state of matter is called plasma. Ionic state of matter is called plasma. Geophysics, study of internal structure of the earth and the changes take place inside the earth is called geophysics. It is very easy. A little review of these lectures are a little review. Physical property, physical quantities and measurement. So physical quantities are all measurable quantities. For example, pressure is a physical quantity. Volume is a physical quantity. Because we can measure volume, we can measure pressure. We can measure time, so time is a physical quantity. But there are some quantities which are not physical because we cannot measure. Emotions, feelings are not physical quantities because you cannot measure the feelings of your friend. So these are not physical quantities. So physical quantities are the quantities which are measurable. All measurable quantities are called physical quantities. Measurement. Measurement is the comparisons between two quantities, in which you compare two quantities in order to know the largeness or smallness of one quantity with respect to the other quantity is called measurement. When you compare two quantities, for example, you compare two books, you will feel its mass different. One you feel heavy and the other you feel lighter. So this comparisons is called is called measurement. Science, the exploratory study of the universe, the knowledge which we get after experimentation is called science. Natural philosophy, study of various aspects of objects under a single subject. For example, a philosopher must study bio, chemistry, physics, every subject. So all subjects are studied under a single subject. This is called natural philosophy. Natural philosophy is the knowledge of natural philosophy is based on reasoning and arguments. It have no experimental verification. Better will be the arguments better will be more acceptable their theories or opinions will be to them. But now, as the experimentation increased, the knowledge increased, natural philosophy is divided into two branches: physical science, biological science. In physical science, we study living things, sorry, non living things. And in biological study, biological sciences or life sciences, we study living things. Physical science is further divided into five branches: physics, chemistry, astronomy, geology, meteorology. Physics, study of matter and energy and the interaction between these two. Importance of physics. In daily life, you can see, you can watch, you can find many examples which are the blessing of physics, which represents the importance of physics. Pulley is one of the best example. Pulley is a simple machine which is used for lifting heavy loads, which represents the importance of physics. Transportation is the other area or the other field which represents the importance of physics. Means of transportation such as cars and aeroplanes. Electricity give us light, heat, and mechanical energy that drives fans and electric motors. Also represents the importance of physics. Domestic appliances represents the importance of physics. Communication also represents means of communication also represents the importance of physics. These are the blessing of physics. Branches of physics. In branches of physics, you study mechanics, deals with motion, deals with the object at rest, its causes and effects, heat, sound, light, electricity, atomic physics, nuclear physics, plasma, geophysics. Mechanics, study of motion of objects, its causes and effects, heat, invisible, weightless, and can flow from one body into another body. Deals with nature of heat, modes of transfer, and effect of heat. Sound, properties of sound, in which we study properties of sound. Light, in which we study properties of light, nature of light, properties of light. Electricity and magnetism, in which we study electricity and magnetic effects and the interaction between these two, the relation between these two. Atomic physics, in atomic physics, we study structure of atom, properties of atom. In nuclear physics, we study properties of nuclei, structure of nuclei. Plasma physics, in which we study the fourth state of matter or the ionic state of matter. In geophysics, we study the internal structure of Earth. For today, it's enough. It's your this is your first lecture that you are listening. So revise this lecture and answer the question. Take it as assignment. Why we study physics? This will be your first assignment, and do it at your home and WhatsApp